The midday sun slammed into the courtyard with the weight of a hammer. Dust clung to the air, turning every breath into sandpaper. Generators growled in the background, a constant pulse beneath the scrape of tools and the faint thump of helicopter rotors. Everywhere, soldiers moved with urgency, hauling crates, signing manifests, swapping radios. Because on bases like this, speed wasn't convenience. It was survival. But Sergeant Emily Carter didn't move like the rest. Her steps were slower, deliberate. A dark stain had spread through the bandage on her left pant leg, the fabric stiff from dried blood. 3 days earlier, an IED had flipped her convoy's armored truck like a toy and nearly taken her with it. It hadn't. Emily had dragged 2 men out of a burning vehicle before the ammunition inside began to cook off. She hadn't slept much since. Across the courtyard, a cluster of new Navy SEALs lounged in the shade near the comms building. Arms folded, boots crossed, all easy confidence and quiet swagger. One of them watched her limp by, a smirk curling at the edge of his mouth. "Look at that," he muttered. "Can't even walk straight. Guess she's done playing soldier." A few others chuckled, too loud for the heat. Another voice chimed in, half joking, half cruel. "Heard she was running the wrong way when it blew." Heads turned. A few laughed. Emily didn't. She kept her gaze forward, her pace steady, her jaw set. She owed them no story. But not everyone was laughing. Corporal Ryan Brooks, coiling a length of cable nearby, froze mid-motion. Sergeant Dana Reeves, military police on patrol, caught the exchange from across the yard. Both knew better. Both had seen her crawl into flames when everyone else had backed off. The newcomers didn't understand yet, but this courtyard remembered things. Emily Carter wasn't the type to advertise her courage. 8 years in uniform had stripped the sharpness from her voice, leaving behind something quieter, more deliberate. She'd long ago learned that there were 2 kinds of courage: the loud kind that burned out fast, and the kind that endured when it was 3 in the morning, the world was dust and fear, and no one was watching. She was a medic, but she refused to let the word just sit in front of it. Just a medic didn't drag a man with shattered legs out of a burning MRAP. Just a medic didn't find a pulse with shaking hands and keep going anyway. She'd earned 2 bronze stars, a Purple Heart, and the habit of slipping away from ceremonies early because applause made her uncomfortable. A scar traced a thin line from the bridge of her nose to her cheekbone, faint like a scratch from paper. Most didn't ask how she got it. She didn't offer to tell. Ryan knew, though. He'd been a terrified private once, his first firefight crackling through a radio full of static. Her voice had come through calm, steady. "Breathe once, now talk." He did, and the coordinates he gave that night saved an entire platoon. Sergeant Dana Reeves knew a different story. She'd seen Emily step between a furious staff sergeant and a junior specialist who'd botched a maintenance form. "Walk away," Emily had said, and the storm had passed. Then she stayed late to help the kid redo the paperwork. Respect didn't chase noise. It built slowly, quietly, like gravity, and Emily Carter carried a lot of it. 3 days before that courtyard insult, the convoy had hit soft sand and bad luck. One moment, the road was there. The next, it wasn't. The lead truck's front tire found the pressure plate, and the world turned white. When Emily's hearing returned, everything smelled of burning rubber and cordite. Her legs didn't want to move, but her hands did. Seatbelt release. Door latch jammed. Pry bar. Force. Motion. Then she was dragging bodies, gripping vest handles, scraping her boot against asphalt, ignoring pain that screamed louder than the blast had. She didn't remember falling. She only remembered a voice, her own, ordering a barely conscious driver to keep breathing. Command later credited the survival to the armor and fast response times. Ryan knew better. The driver's pulse had stopped once, started again under Emily's hands, and didn't fade until he blinked twice to show he was alive. That's why Ryan was alive too, and why, when the SEALs laughed, something inside him went cold. He looked at them, their confidence, their ease, their ignorance. Their leader, Petty Officer Mark Davies, carried himself like someone who'd never failed, the kind of man whose reputation walked a few steps ahead of him. Ryan tried to excuse it, boredom, arrogance, maybe just a bad attempt at humor, but he couldn't unhear the cruelty. Dana Reeves quietly altered her patrol route, angling closer to catch the faces, the patches, the time of day. Her hand brushed the body cam switch, then paused. She wasn't hunting anyone. She was collecting facts. Emily reached the medical tent and sank onto a cot without a word. The physician's assistant peeled away the bandage and frowned. "You walked too far," the PA said. "Had to," Emily replied. "The tent's this far away. You're not funny. Only when I'm vertical." The PA shook their head. "Stubbornness and heroism living in the same skull. It's a wonder you're still upright." Emily smiled faintly, watching the tent flap sway in the hot wind. She didn't mention what she'd heard outside. Pity didn't heal. Anger didn't help. There were forms to sign, wounds to clean, and work that always waited. But on bases like this, rumors didn't travel. They arrived fully formed. By evening, the incident had spread across the compound. Who said what? Who laughed? Who filmed? A mechanic claimed he'd marked the time. Someone else said they saw a reflection on a phone screen. By sunset, a folder had appeared on the deputy commander's desk. Unrequested, undeniable. Lieutenant Colonel Janet Morales read the report without speaking. She was compact, sharp, and known for remembering two things: disrespect and kindness, both equally. Before the first word of the report, she recalled another file. Sergeant Carter. Commendation pending. Extraordinary courage under fire. She'd signed that approval herself. Now, she held this instead. She looked at the clock, then stood. "Get me Commander Porter," she said to her aide, "and Sergeant Reeves, now." Outside, the heat was finally breaking, but the courtyard hadn't forgotten.